At the highest level, the carriers need to transform from being just a connectivity provider to a digital service provider, and 5G is going to be a part of that. NFV launched their journey to the telco cloud, and mobile broadband and 5G are going to extend that. And oftentimes when you look at that, people would consider the fact that they're going to have to rebuild everything, but you don't really have to start anew. But as they start this transition and look at 5G, they're going to have to look at how to manage those resources in a more coordinated fashion.
The really interesting thing about 5G relative to some of the other wireless technologies, 1, 2, 3, 4G, it is capable of doing so much more. It's a combination of licensed and unlicensed spectrum. And so I've had some operators jokingly say, well, whatever I have rolled out plus the new spectrum, that's 5G. Now, not everybody is quite that irreverent and humorous about it, but I do think that it gives many other choices so that you can have a broad spectrum, low bandwidth devices, low latency devices, high availability, high video devices. So you get a breadth of capabilities in 5G that you never had before in the prior wireless technologies. Absolutely. In fact, one of some of the most successful trials that we saw in the last year getting ready for things like 5G were MEC, the mobile edge, and some of the really, really exciting use cases, a lot of sports stadiums. There was a great trial with the Shanghai Formula One races and Nokia where they were showing a lot of different use cases, a lot of spectator involvement. So you can sit in the cheap seats, but you can have a great experience. Well, many of them can take advantage of the capabilities that are behind the radio. So you don't have to wait for the ITU to vote on what is the spectrum and what is the frequency. You can actually start building in the capabilities to the near edge with things like virtual RAN and with MEC capabilities. So you don't actually have to commit, this is going to be 5G. You don't actually have to have the radio there and present. You can start building the capabilities kind of back into the core of the network and get some of those early use case benefits. Well, it depends on where in the network you're transforming, but we've been telling operators you've got to get your core network, your edge network, you have to get the RAN capable of the agility and the responsiveness that cloud management capabilities allow. And if you think about a lot of the IoT use cases, they're kind of unpredictable. You don't know exactly when they're going to spin up and spin down. So it's really, really important to be able to build it out now. And why not make money before 2020?
5G is going to be a huge trigger point for MEC, given the massive amount of data that's going to be at the edge of the network.
Well, there's network slicing capabilities. That's really important to be able to give you that choice of, do I really want the highest bandwidth and the lowest latency? Am I going to be driving a car, or am I just going to be watching an optional video with the kids in the car? So there's a big range that you want to be able to address, and you need to do it cost effectively. You're not going to want to be able to have all of the cost and all of the reliability of the voice systems that are there today for every different use case. So I think network slicing is really important. And then obviously every generation, when you're changing the spectrum and you're changing the frequencies, your antenna capabilities are really important, the RF capabilities. So something called MIMO is a demo that we've been doing at the last Mobile World Congress, and it looks a little bit like a hedgehog with all the antennas sticking out, but it's a really important capability to be able to get all of those frequency signals that are necessary.